end. I haven't fully completed this game in over 5 years now, so I thought, hey, might as well do it, you know? Though I highly doubt my opinion of the game will change, as in that time a lot's happened, and in that time I've learned how to better articulate my thoughts on media, including, but not limited to, Sonic Forces. And this game, more than any other, has earned my ire. Today, however, we will be playing from the beginning, and that includes the DLC and the extra stages. But first, we'll be playing through the DLC. Now you might be wondering, why are we playing through the DLC first? Well, because it takes place before the main campaign, so we kind of have no choice. I just want to make sure I don't lose any data first, so give me a second. Okay. That should be fine. I should have all my data backed up. Yeah. Alright. It was 1 month before Dr.
Shadow, we've got a report from the Intelligence Division. They've located an unknown base of operations that seems to be totally outside the chain of command for Eggman's army. There's a large-scale troop presence, suspiciously large for a place with no strategic value.
Would do something like that without reason.
Kidding. And there's a rumor going around that Eggman has been developing some kind of new weapon. So...
yeah. Looks like this won't be your garden variety recon mission.
do it to it, Shadow. Omega went on ahead of you, so you can link up with him on site.
I'm more than enough on my own. I'll handle things my way.
Omega said the same thing. You two go together like chili and hot dogs.
Cut the chatter. I'm on my way.
Sorry, I was just letting that play out. For some godforsaken reason, I can't show the footage beforehand. Despite the fact that it's just text. But if you've played Forces, you know what it said, which was essentially nothing. But since we're getting into this, I believe it's also important to bring up the prequel comic. It has basically nothing to do with Forces. Most of the information in the prequel comic is retconned and completely ignored in Forces. For no reason. In the prequel comic, you know what, we'll get to that later. Let's just continue on. Also, I hope the audio sounds fine, because I've never used this equipment before, so yeah, this will be a test run.
That area is enemy territory. Keep going, Shadow.
Got it. E-123 Omega here. Extermination proceeding without incident. No problem to report.
Extermination? This is supposed to be a recon mission. You can't go making a big scene.
You should have known better than to send Omega on and off like this.
It's so hard getting used to Sonic Forces' weird-ass controls. Considering, like I said already, it's been 5 years since I played the old game.
Rouge, come in. Position coordinates lost. Current location unknown.
Omega, what's going on? Respond!
But as you saw before we started, I have 100% of this entire game. And when I say I 100% of it, I do in fact mean I 100%
All
of it.
sensors offline. The damage to parietal lobe region. Casualty report. Rouge fallen. Shadow to be eliminated.
Omega, what happened? What's going on over there?
Unidentified system intrusion. Emergency control. I am E-123 Omega, the most powerful.
What I will admit is that I do in fact like all the remixes in Shadow's story. especially this one. This one is quite possibly one of my favorite tracks in the entire goddamn game. Mainly because it's a remix of Westopolis. You never see Westopolis or any Shadow tracks for that matter getting remixed. And that game gets a bad rap.
The world's most powerful robot is no more a challenge than Krabit. As I suspected, this power is without peer. It is the ultimate strength. And still more wonderful, a not-so-tall, dark, and brooding guest has arrived. I've been waiting for you.
Oh, you know, I just realized something. Was that kind of supposed to be a reference to Vegeta? I mean, the reference to him being not so tall. I don't know why that would be there, considering they're all roughly the same size. So if he's saying Shadow's not so tall, he's saying he himself isn't all that tall. But, considering everything, I wouldn't be too surprised if it was, in fact, a Vegeta reference.
Tell me what you did to Omega. Weaklings like him are of no consequence. Come now, Shadow. Our long-awaited reunion, and still you spout such nonsense. I don't know you. And the only thing of no consequence around here is that big mouth of yours. Oh, I suppose you would think so. Yes. I am infinite. You say you do not know me, and yet I remember you so very well. To you, it was simply another in a long list of Eggman faces you tore down without a second thought.
Again, why the hell is this blocked? I don't understand. It's just text. Sega PR and all of their... Wait, is the reason why it's blocked because it's just text and they didn't want people to know on release date that it would just be goddamn text? I'm just thinking about it. Now you might say that's kind of stupid to think of. Well, no. This is Sega we're talking about. They're kind of stupid. I mean, have you seen what they did to Persona 5? If you try to stream the goddamn game, you're not going to be able to stream much of it. That's the one reason I never streamed my experiences with it. Oh, speaking of streaming experiences with games, tomorrow when Frontiers does come out, after I'm done with everything, because tomorrow's going to be quite busy, for many reasons, I intend on streaming my first gameplay of Frontiers. Anyway, back to the game. Welcome to Aqua Road Part 2. Before we play Aqua Road Part 1...
We got an intruder! Shadow has entered the facility! Defense Squad Jackal has already been completely annihilated! All available troops, intercept that blasted hedgehog by any means necessary! I went to great pains to get the best mercenaries around, and he still totally wrecked the defense squad! Shadow!
Should have hired some defense squads for the defense squad. Hey, Doctor.
Unbelievable! He's getting deeper and deeper into the facility! That computer running analyses in the core is invaluable! One of you idiots, stop that hedgehog now! Shadow is still alive? At least the analysis of the stone was completed yesterday. But no! This facility be destroyed. Is there anyone left out there?
Dude, this part right here, this fucking part is so goddamn annoying. Due to lack of control.
Shadow is still alive? At least the analysis of the stone was completed yesterday. But no!
I'm just gonna
Still
take
can't
it
let
like
this
that.
facility be destroyed.
Which is what I would
Is there
highly recommend
anyone
most
left out
people
there?
take. If you don't want to have to deal with all of stupid physics.
Seems like this place is important. No wonder the cannon fodder has been putting up a fight.
And just like that, we are almost done with the entirety of the DLC. How long has it been? 5 minutes? I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to be skipping all of the cutscenes because apparently they don't want to be recorded.
I've only become what I am because of you. Yet you don't remember. But I suppose that's the way it goes. It simply means that the old me was too weak, too pathetic to remember. And now you've become nothing more than an insect, waiting to be crushed underfoot. Thanks to this limitless power I've obtained, I have become unstoppable. Take this!
Actually, no, I think this is my favorite remix out of the entire soundtrack. Not just
Shadow?
Shadows. Yes.
Shadow! Shadow, do you read me?
That guy. What happened to Infinite?
Huh? What are you mumbling about?
God damn it.
Shadow?
You know, based on everything I've heard, I'm hoping
Shadow,
that
do you read me?
Frontiers will control a lot better than Forces does.
That guy.
Even though Frontiers
What happened to
apparently
Infinite?
uses very similar
What are you mumbling about, Shadow?
Very
You okay?
similar
Anybody home? We're
movement
going to pick up
to
Omega.
Forces.
He was
Especially
destroyed 3
cyberspace.
months ago. Remember? Get it together.
This won't be a 100% run, by the way. This will just be a complete one. From beginning to end of the game. I'm not going to be collecting all the collectibles, and I am not doing press runs. But I will try to get what I can.
Omega was destroyed. But there's no sign of him here.
Sure seems that way. Probably because it never really happened.
What?
Affirmative. I have never known to be defeated.
Omega?
I am not defeated. I am not weak. I am not weak. I am not weak. I am not weak.
You know, this pisses me off so goddamn much.
What is this?
So much missed potential here. Seriously. And the worst part is that potential is only realized in the IDW comics. Oh shit. Damn it. I would blame the ping, but it's not the ping. It's my fault for not getting good. I apologize I don't have much to say, because we haven't got to the main game yet. Each might be wondering why the hell are we playing this, if there isn't much to say about it. Simply for posterity's sake, I just wanted to make sure I have it completed. Otherwise it wouldn't feel like it was fully completed.
What? I'm back here. No. Is this an illusion? This is reality, Shadow. Your reality. I didn't expect to see you come back alive, but you must admit, it was a truly wonderful show, wasn't it? This power, before we've even tuned it, just as I thought, it is unrivaled. Not even Sonic will be able to stand against me now.
Sonic? What are you plotting? What is this? Where do you think you're going, Infinite?
Shadow? Shadow! Finally, the connection's back. What are you doing?
Rouge?
Forget it. Get away from there as soon as you can. There are explosions going off all over. The facility's about to collapse.
Withdrawing now. What's the meaning of all this?
Yeah, you see, again. But this scene I'm going to continue with because I have stuff to say.
Rouge, are you telling me the truth?
What's the point of lying about it? Eggman got a beat on Sonic and mounted a massive assault. I mean, sure, A for effort, but it's nothing to worry about. We've got the advantage now. Sonic is there too, so I don't think it's a big enough deal for you to head out.
Not even Sonic will be able to stand against me now.
I can't imagine the Doctor would do something like that without...
Shadow, this is not good. Hurry, get over there.
What is it, Rouge? What happened?
Yeah, so you see, this is the opening cutscene of Forces. And there's a lot I have to say on it, so I'm going to talk about it while it plays. So, right now, the problem that I have with this scene, the biggest problem that I have is Tails. Tails and Sonic. Sonic is acting wildly out of character. Normally, what you would expect is that for Sonic, he would try to reason with them. Either Metal, Shadow, or even Zavok. Especially Chaos, but definitely Shadow. And why would you say that? Well, why do you think I would say that? Well, because he's done that in the past. He's talked to Shadow before fighting him. Hell, he's talked to Metal Sonic before fighting him too. This is the first time he's meeting Infinite. But even then, you would think he'd try to talk to them. I'm not saying he'd get through to them, I'm just saying he would try to talk to them before immediately fighting them. And then there's Tails, who isn't doing jack shit. All he's doing is supposedly scanning them. When this is Tails we're talking about here. The same Tails who beat Chaos 4 on his own. He could do this. If he was helping Sonic in this situation, they probably wouldn't have won, but they definitely would have put up a better fight. He didn't need to act so cowardly, but that's just because they wanted to write it so. Yep. And that's the end of episode Shadow. A very, very middling DLC. But, and I'm going to say this because it's very necessary to say, these are the 3 best stages in the game. Simply because they have any amount of difficulty and seem to have some thought put into them. But each and every one of them is rehashes of stages already in the main game. Which is not good, I shouldn't have to tell you. Well, it's not good because the main game already felt like it was lacking content. This just makes it feel like it's lacking even more content. Anyway, now it's time to go to the main game. So, after having already completed the game before, 5 years ago, now it's time to fully complete it again. Now, I don't understand the options here. I don't get it. Why is there a normal mode? The hard mode is just regular. Normal mode just caps your rings, which doesn't make any sense. There's no lives in this game. It doesn't do anything but hinder you. I don't understand it. And it makes it even harder to get S ranks. So, if anything, hard mode's the easy mode. Normal mode's the hard mode. Anyway, if you couldn't guess it, we're playing hard mode. And then there's this scene, like I was saying before. It contradicts the, as we know, canon prequel comics. It insinuates that Infinite is something that Eggman created when we know for a fact it isn't. Infinite is a member of Jackal Squad, a mercenary group that fought Eggman in the prequel comics and was ultimately eliminated. We don't know what happened to the others, but considering what's happened in this game, it's very likely that they killed them. Infinite's only around because he was useful, I guess, and chose to get the power.
Sonic, Eggman's forces are surging into the city. We need you here now.
Hold on, Tails. I'm on my way.
Another thing I forgot to bring up is, remember the...
We don't have time to lose. Better kick things up a notch.
Do any of you remember the demo that Forces had way before it was released? Like a couple months before it was released? The demo that only had minute-long stages, well, had a cap for the stages at a minute.
Man, look at the size of that thing.
Yeah,
It's all kinds of things.
in hindsight, we know why that was, don't we?
You know it's gonna be a
The
chore.
stages were not that long to begin with. There's no way in hell they could have let you play for longer than a minute. Because if you did, you would have beat them. And if I remember correctly, I don't think there was a single Modern Sonic stage in the demo. Wasn't it just the Avatar stage
Green
in
Hill's looking a lot more like
Spaceport
Sand Hill right now.
and the Eggman boss in Green Hill Zone for Classic Sonic? Forgive me if I'm incorrect here, but again, it's been 5 years since I played that demo, so I can't remember. And the other thing about that demo was it was only released in Japan. You had to have a Japanese account to get the goddamn demo. Which I do, thankfully, so I was able to play the demo, but still. Definitely didn't give me a good impression of the game. And then here's this scene again that I was talking about a little bit ago because we already saw it in Shadow's playthrough. Yep, and again, just a wall of text. Which I have a lot of problems with because the things that they're explaining in the text are things we should have seen happen in the game. Not just a goddamn clip note of it. Or, yeah, spark note. Here is a very important thing that I need to mention. So, much of this game was ruined by the translation to English. And some things, like that line right there, Tails just lost it, that is an incorrect translation. The translation should have been, the proper translation should have been that Tails didn't just lose it, no, Tails has lost. They've lost connection to Tails. Sorry, I haven't slept in a day. But that isn't the only thing in the entire game that's been fucked with because of the improper localization. Which it just goes to show that I'm not entirely incorrect in saying that I dislike localization. Now, I understand that there's a point to localization, but we are going to play as the objectively best species, bird. Because out of all of them, the bird is the one that gives you the best anything. A double jump. That's what we'll go with. I was trying to remember which one was the one that was based off of Blaze's bakery animation. And then there's what they did to Knuckles, which I suppose is just what happens because Pontac and Graf were the ones who were writing the story. But I'll never get over what the Meta-Era did to Knuckles. It ruined his character. Turned him to, what? An idiot? I don't understand. Comedy? I guess comedy is subjective, but I don't find it funny. If anything, I just find it sad what they did to his character. Hey, you see this, that right there, that's a really good concept. Showing us our continual advancements in the game. It would be real nice if they would do more things like that. But that's about it. Aside from the colors of the world map, which, can I just say, is a great disappointment. After what we got in Unleashed, this is just sad. We get one giant continent. That doesn't look like anything that we've seen before. And they're completely forgetting, as they've shown, see right here, Lost Valley, Green Hill. Green Hill Zone is located on South Island, a small island off the coast of the mainland. Now you might say I'm being nitpicky, but I would just like consistency.
I've just received some incredible news. Sonic is alive!
Yeah, again, then there's that. So, one cutscene before, they say Sonic's dead. Another cutscene later, they say he's alive. It would be nice if they would at least play along with it a little longer.
No way! That's excellent!
What? Oh, thank goodness! I knew it! I knew it!
He's captured in the orbiting prison. My spy there says he's in a solitary confinement cell, and they've been torturing him for months.
That's horrible! We have to rescue him!
Plan's already happening, Amy. I've got a squad on the way to the spaceport and the chemical plant to borrow a shuttle.
Yeah, again, I have to say, chemical plant? Really? I mean, I guess it makes some sense that they would have chemical plant be used as something, but really? Chemical plant is supposed to be on West Side Island. But I guess they could just say that Eggman made another one, but I don't know, it'd be nice if we got something new. You know, if you're gonna do something, it looks more similar to Oil Ocean, so why not just go with Oil Ocean Zone? I mean, that'd make a little more sense from Metropolis Zone. Well, I guess we'll get to that, but there is a Metropolis here. It's not Metropolis Zone, and it's not Grand Metropolis, it's just Metropolis. I would like more interesting names.
Come on, guys. Who's up for an old-school style jailbreak?
And to Spaceport. This is the level that I remember replaying the most in the demo, because I thought I could get to the end faster. But nope, because of the ending cutscene.
My team's engaging the enemy in the orbital tunnel. I think we can hold them off for now. No, wait! Watch out! The massive one is here. The monster that took down Sonic.
Stay focused, rookie. We're out to find a shuttle.
And I guess now is the perfect time to mention it. I do kind of like the Avatar music. But it's just missing something, you know? That kind of energy that the adventure games had in terms of vocal tracks. Though surprisingly, after going back to Adventure 2, there aren't that many vocal tracks for stages. The only one that really has a vocal track is City Escape. I don't know why we associate vocal tracks mainly with the adventure games in terms of stages, considering we didn't really have them. I guess it's just because the city escaped it. Still. You see this cutscene right here. This is what I was talking about. And you know, a bit of interesting trivia. So, in the files of Sonic Forces, and you can find it on the cutting room floor, but in the files, there's a whole lot of unused things, like those grappling hook things. They have one just like this, but it actually requires you to do something. It's not just something you click on. It's more similar to, what's it called? It's very similar to the, I forgot what its name is. It's very similar to the pole vault that you swing on in Adventure. Adventure 2.
They won't mind if we borrow this for a while. Hurry it up, rookie! Get out of there as soon as everyone's aboard! Step on it!
Yeah, you see right here. I'm not going to clear the stage yet because I have something very important to say. Doesn't it feel like the stage should be going on a little longer? Like, we should explore the area out here? We should play a little more? All I know is that I feel like there should be a lot more in here, but there isn't. The stages feel empty. Like, it hasn't even gotten anywhere. And then there's Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic. The worst part of Forces is Classic Sonic. And the only reason why he's the worst part of Forces is entirely due to how he handles. If you've never played Forces before, you might not know exactly what I'm... If you've played Forces before, you will know what I'm saying, but if you haven't, you'll see. He's heavy like a goddamn rock. He'll fall almost the moment you start moving. He can't carry momentum, he can't really move anywhere. Okay. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, that too. I forgot to mention. Remember when they almost tried to... Yeah, you see, before I continue with that thought, this scene right here, I know you can't see it, but this is the scene when Chaos arrives and attacks Tails, and Tails cowers like a bitch because for some reason he can't fight back. He fought Chaos 4 on his own. And then, yes, now Sonic, or Classic Sonic, is from another dimension, despite being from the past.
Radar shows Eggman up ahead. Enemies could be lying in wait.
Doesn't feel right.
Watch your step. I get the feeling Eggman has some tricks up his sleeve.
These goddamn springs. Why the hell are they here? To make you feel like you're doing something? Or because they know that it would be a pain in the ass to control. So they simulate they simulate how it would be if you flung off of a ramp, that's it, sorry. I am tired, I have not gotten any sleep the past day. That would be why I'm done this.
This is terrible. They've made a total mess of this place. We have to
And
stop
just like
Eggman
that, we are almost done with the stage. Again, I would have died there, but they save you. And yes, I am complaining about being saved from death, because this game is just so goddamn... And the worst part is that the level design isn't bad. It's not. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It just feels horrible. And the worst part of the level design is that it feels like it's not finished. And I mean that literally, not so much that they didn't finish making it, and not so much that it's not fully complete, as it is, they didn't finish making it. Like, this should be where the stage continues. only a minute and 30 seconds long. Sure, the classic levels in the first game were like, what, 40 seconds? But that's if you're going fast. If you're not, well, that's different because not only is there more there, it feels like a complete level. If you're really speedrunning, you can complete a stage in under a minute. But in a casual playthrough, you won't do that. Yeah. A couple months ago in the city, we're skipping these scenes. Yep, and then infinite attacks. Kills a bunch of people, and then you get spared for some godforsaken reason.
Knuckles, can you hear me?
Rouge! It's about time. How's Sonic doing?
He's been better. They're getting ready to banish him into space.
What? You can't be serious.
Eggman's been keeping Sonic alive all this time. He's been waiting to show him his completed empire before banishing him.
Yeah, and then, okay, before we get to this part, it's very important to mention, so they'll mention that Sonic's been tortured for months now, but well, that doesn't make any sense. In the story, Sonic doesn't act like that. He doesn't act like he's been tortured. And do you know why that is? Because in the original Japanese script, it was more of a, it wasn't so much that he was being tortured for months, as it was that him being there was his torture. He wasn't tortured for months, he was kept there in a torturous place. He was kept there and that was torture, because he couldn't do anything. Which, again, it doesn't make sense why he's acting all chipper, but at least makes more sense than them saying that he was tortured for months.
Torturing Sonic just to pass the time. Oh, that's low.
Yeah, that line right there, that's wrong, completely wrong, but because of the fucking localization, it's now canon that that's what happened. At least in the US. This is why you just don't listen to the US stories. Because they tend to be incorrect.
Eggman got wind of our rescue plan and is moving forward with his plan ahead of schedule. The clock is ticking, boss.
I think that would also be a good time to mention I don't really like this new voice that Rouge has. I much preferred her voice. I much prefer to her Sonic X voice or her original Sonic Adventure 2 voice. The voice actress. Well, I mean, I probably prefer her voice after Sonic X because of 06 and the games before 06, which is just Shadow and Heroes, but still.
But we don't even know where he's being held captive.
Yes, we do. Eggman rebuilt the Death Egg. That's where he's keeping Sonic.
Okay, again. Now, this is an example that I like of them reusing something that they had before. Because unlike Chemical Plant or Green Hill Zone or fucking Sky Sanctuary, this is the first time we've had the Death Egg in 3D. Ignoring Sonic 4, because we always ignore Sonic 4. Why wouldn't we? But then again, that's a 2.5D game. And unlike Sonic Colors, which is also another 2.5D game, Sonic 4 was, yeah, alright. It's certainly much better than Forces, but, yeah.
The Death Egg? Oh man, that's not good.
No, and another thing about the Death Egg, so we know now, based off of the comics, and based on the things that have been shown, like in Sonic Battle, what the Death Egg was for. So, the Death Egg was initially built to be used as a satellite around the planet that would change the weather to suit Eggman's needs. Which is why it has the weather system on it, and, as we know in Sonic Battle, it also has a laser capable of destroying planets and stars. As in Sonic Battle, Eggman used the Death Egg laser to destroy an entire solar system. Right. It was other solar. No, it was one star, one giant star, but one star. He destroyed a star.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
And then there's that infamous line. I can't believe that got past anyone.
You all know what to do. Let's go get Sonic.
On to Prison Hall. We are nearly a quarter of the way through this game. And my opinion still has yet to change.
Listen up, rookie. Our other forces are busy dealing with enemies. It looks like you took the best route. It's up to you to save Sonic now. Find him!
I'm really hoping Frontiers will be good. Really hoping. This will be the first time we've had a game in 5 years. Based off everything I've seen, I do think Frontiers will be good.
The prisoners are being held in a kind of internment facility.
I don't know if it'll be
Sonic is
the
probably there
best,
too.
but I at
Security
least
is tight,
am fairly
so
confident
stay on
saying
your
that it'll be
toes.
pretty good.
Nothing in this room either.
Man, we're still trying to fight our way out. They've got us pinned down.
I don't know why it won't go down if you're right here at the edge, it won't go down. Never understood that. I guess it's just not programmed to let you do that.
Looks like this place was used up until recently.
Again, with the goddamn weird physics. You control... See,
Nothing
you
in
start
this
going
room
really
either.
fast.
We're still trying to fight our way out.
No.
They've got us pinned down.
Actually, no, you know what? We do know why it is that you go that fast. And why it is so dramatic. It's entirely because of Sonic Lost World.
Looks like this place was used
So
up
they're just
until
reusing the
recently.
code from Sonic Lost
Here's that
World.
many of our brethren
And
were held here.
in doing so, it's almost as if, like, after a few seconds, the run button gets pushed down. So you go faster, and it's not like you get a build up of momentum. You're just going faster because the game has said you should go faster now.
They're on high alert now.
I sense Sonic's presence. He's close.
You know, the only good thing to come out of Sonic Forces, aside from some of the music, was the mobile game. That's the most fun I got out of Forces. Oh, and then there's Sonic Forces Reimagined and then Sonic Forces Overclocked, which I'm really anticipating. I can't wait for that to get a full release. Yeah, and again, as I said before, I'm going to be skipping a lot of these cutscenes. We aren't at one yet, but I will be skipping them because you can't see them, so there's no point in keeping them up. Yeah, I have to admit, I do in fact quite like the remixes they have for the Zeddy. Or at least for Zavok, anyway. And this fight's really confusing, because I don't know why they designed it in such a way that... You'll see it. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I can't wait to see how long you last.
I forgot you can control it almost immediately.
I can't wait to see how long you last against this.
Come out and fight me yourself, and I'll mop you up real quick.
Impudent runt. I'm going to save her watching you suffer.
Oh, before I forget it, if you're playing Splatoon 3, do make sure you start, because we're almost at the point where we can start playing the Splat Fest. So, here's the attack I was talking about. So if you jump right here, like you would normally expect to, you can't attack him. You have to let him bounce you up and then hit him. And in every other fight, in every other game, that's not how something like that would work. You normally jump up, So the interesting thing about forces that we know based off of a lot of previous information is that much of forces was entirely a response to what happened with Sonic Boom and with what happened to Lost World. That was it. Sonic Boom and Lost World. It was a response to that because both games were a failure. Lost World was a sales failure, and Sonic Boom was an abject failure in every sense of the word. Lost Sega millions of dollars. So if I'm gonna be honest with you,
How could I lose to the likes of you again?
Sonic Boom, Shattered Crystal wasn't a bad game, it was just average. Very boring though. So boring in fact that on 2 occasions when I tried to play it I actually fell asleep. Which I guess maybe says something about it, but still. I don't know if that says more about me or more about the goddamn game itself, but Also, the only other Wispin I'll probably end up using for this playthrough will most likely be the Drill Wispin. Entirely because I can use it to break the game. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. So Zavok. He acts as if he's the actual Zavok, but he isn't. He is just a illusion. But he speaks, he acts, he talks. Everything is just like he was the normal, regular Zavok, but he isn't. Which leads us to the question, why don't the other illusions do that? Is there anything that makes him special? Or is it just because Sega wanted to try and push Zavok, push the Zeddy, and they knew, I guess because they wanted to have some continuity with Lost World for some reason, that the Zeddy wouldn't work with Eggman again. Which, yeah, obviously, but still, why? Nobody likes Zavok. The Deadly Six aren't going to be a thing. He's not going to be a thing. It's not going to happen. Not going to work.
Guess they found out I escaped. Oh well, time to kiss this yawn fest goodbye.
You know, I really
We're off
like
planet.
this level.
Guess anyone who
Kind
crosses
of.
Eggman gets a one-way trip to space. No way I'm sticking around here. There's nothing to run on.
The problem with this level is that it's so short. Like every other level in the goddamn game, it's so short. It feels like it ends before it even really has a chance
I
to
don't
begin.
do well in tight spaces. I'll pay back Eggman for putting me in this jam later.
I appreciate that they allow you to use the D-pad
What's my move? It's not like I can swim out
2.5D.
into space. Oh no, I'll just grab a shuttle.
Because
When I
for
get in,
some
I
reason
must
a
be
lot of
around here
games don't allow you to
somewhere.
do that.
I could do with a little space cruise on my way home.
And then the level's over. Let's see, 120. Let's go with 120. About 120. That's when the level was really over, and now it's just
Packing a lot of firepower.
essentially a
Still,
cutscene.
it doesn't matter if they can't land their shots.
This
Here
is what
goes
level
nothing.
should continue going on from. Doesn't. Nearly a full half a minute of just basically a cutscene. Now do you see what I mean when I say the levels feel like they aren't finished? Nearly a quarter of that entire time was spent on cutscene. Santa Claus. And then there's this scene when you meet Sonic, yada yada yada. We're skipping it because, again, nothing of value was really lost.
Sonic, finding you alive is the best news we've had in months. And here's the bad news. Our intel indicates Eggman's got a weapons factory in Green Hill, pumping out munitions for his war effort.
A factory? We can't take out Eggman's home base in Metropolis if he's got a factory supplying him.
No kidding. Look, Sonic, I know you just got back, but we're spread thin. Can you take care of this? We need that factory in Green Hill destroyed. Take the rookie with you.
You sure about this? The kid was shaking like a leaf
Hey,
the
why
whole
isn't
time we were at the
Sonic
Death
talking?
Egg.
That's because it's cold in space. The factory is nice and warm.
It will be when it's burnt to the ground. Sonic, you take the lead. Rookie, just make sure you take good notes.
I got 6 months of payback I'm just dying to spend. This sounds like a good start.
Yep, Arsenal Pyramid. One of the best dual stages, not the best. The
Enemy
best
factory is
team
inside the pyramid.
stage is
I can send
most-
reinforcements if you don't think you can handle it.
at least in my
Two of
opinion.
us are more than enough. We'll blitz the place and open up a path for the resistance. Right, partner? Time for the two of us to team up. It doesn't matter what obstacles they put in our way. We'll blow past everything they throw at us.
Nope, you're not giving me.
Double boost!
No, I'm not doing touch everything. It doesn't matter. Yes, driven by
Yeah,
pain.
that's how it's done. We've got unstoppable
Game
speed and
plays
timing.
itself.
We just have to keep this up.
This game is basically just
Found a way
automation
in.
for Sonic.
You should be able to get into the factory through there. Stay
Again,
alert.
I'm not gonna move.
This should be fun.
I'm gonna let the game play itself to prove my point. Watch. See, they even knew that you could do nothing. That's why they have the goddamn idle animation. And if you do nothing, you'll wind up getting the red ring. Ta-da! Get the red ring. I only got hit once.
So they're building weapons here, huh? Making everyone work like robots. It'll be Eggman's turn to get pushed around when I get a hold of him.
Oh, shoot.
So they're building weapons here, huh? Making everyone work like robots. It'll be Eggman's turn to get pushed around when I get a hold of...
I was trying to skip it. Whatever.
So they're building weapons here, huh? Making everyone work like robots. It'll be Eggman's turn to get pushed around when I get a hold of him.
Yeah, I like Arsenal Pyramid. I like Arsenal Pyramid too. It's a really nice track. Not as good as what's it called? The Dumble Team Chemical Plants. It's not Dumble Team. Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. Which won't be all that long. Maybe like another 10 minutes. I haven't mentioned it yet, but I despise the fact that right now in Sonic Forces you have to use the White Wisp to get boost. It was established in both generations and in Sonic Unleashed that the best way to do boost in the boost formula games is to use rings and destroying robots, Madniks. But no, we're back to wisps because they want to control what you can do even more. Again, here's hoping that Sonic Frontiers will be a lot better in that regard. But I guess we'll find out when the time comes tomorrow, won't we?
Something is attacking inside the Mystic Jungle. Silver is fighting him, or it, or whatever. Just hurry!
Guys, it's him! I'm looking forward to a second round with this guy.
The most infamous stage in all of Sonic Forces. I'm just gonna press one button. Give me a second, let it load.
Eggman's forces are scattering bombs like confetti!
One button.
The whole place is going up in flames! Not the kind of fireworks I like.
I haven't mentioned it yet, but I dislike the fact that they really heavily stripped down Sonic's moveset. I very much dislike the fact that they stripped down Sonic's moveset. They got rid of much of what made it fun to play Sonic. You can't drift anymore, spin dash anymore, but that's just something you can boost from that. You can't drift anymore, you can't crawl anymore. Slide. Because I want to prove my point. So that if you don't go down the edge path, which really just skips a lot of this stuff, it's so linear. You just press one button and let it go.
We're doomed! We can't hold any longer! You've done plenty. Great job!
Sonic controls like a goddamn
I'll make sure everyone's efforts weren't in vain.
And the level's over.
Something from the jungle?
Another 1 minute and 20-second level without going through any of the
I guess all the
steps.
explosions
I didn't go
riled
through any
Doesn't look like
of
we'll
the
get past
faster
without a
routes.
fight.
Just went down the regular route. It's 1 minute 20
Gonna
seconds.
regret that. Hedgehogs don't make good snacks.
And I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but Sonic Colors did levels like this a lot better. And there's not a lot of things you can say Colors did better than any other game. Colors is, in many respects, a very middling 2.5D game. I got the gamer hat. I need to wear the goddamn gamer hat to show I'm a gamer. Speaking of things like that, I don't know why they never sold the goddamn gamer hat. I'd buy it. It'd be nice to have. Yeah. Santa. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that cutscene too because it's not being shown on video, so no reason to keep going. I've already seen all these cutscenes, I'm not like moving much.
Still thrashing around, I see. Filthy little sewer rat.
Haven't you seen a hedgehog before? Come on, I'll show you my spines.
Pushes all the goddamn automation. I just need to make sure I say that because, as you've already seen, much of the game is automation. That's the one thing I hate in Sonic, automation. You feel like you're not doing anything, because you weren't, in fact, doing anything.
Payback time at last.
That's another thing I forgot to mention. Isn't it funny that Infinite's main theme, you know, his theme song, the rap, isn't in-game? You can only hear it on their website. Or I guess in the OST if you own it. Well, I say website, I meant to say... Yeah, you can't kill Infinite there, you have to wait until you get to this part.
Impossible. Your abilities exceed your previous data.
Unlike mechs, I can grow.
That line right there. That's even more confusing because he isn't a robot. But I think it's because the script kind of got mixed up, and in the old original script, Infinite was in fact a mech created by Eggman. But no, he's just a genetically modified person. Well, not person. Jackal. Yeah, the cube Wispons. They are the worst in the entire game. There was literally no reason to use them. We have to wait until I can get the soap shoes, because I want to wear the soap shoes. Skipping this cutscene, because why not? It's not like we're missing anything.
I failed Sonic. Well, I mean this world, Sonic. And Eggman's monster got him.
Yeah, again. So that line right there, Eggman's monster, it very, very heavily implies that Infinite was created by Eggman. Which he wasn't. He was just given the Phantom Ruby, which allows him to use the Phantom Ruby's power to distort reality. But he wasn't created by Eggman. In fact, he was essentially just paid by Eggman to do what he's doing, because he's a mercenary. But in the original script, in the original Sonic War script, Infinite was created by Eggman. He isn't now, but he was. And at one point they were going to have Mephiles be in the game, but I guess they decided not to. Which is funny, because Mephiles is now in Sonic Forces Speed Battle, which they decided to rename to Sonic Forces, because I guess they just want to wash away anything that Forces was. Because nobody likes Forces. Well, that's not true. Some people like Forces, but then again, their opinions aren't really good. I'm just being honest here. It's objective fact. Forces is the worst game in the entire series. Okay, I guess it's not the worst game in the series, but it's also not a good game. You can argue all day and night if you want to about Forces' quality, but you can never convince me that it's a good game. It's an okay game at best.
But you're here now. It's like the world needs a Sonic. Any Sonic to keep things in balance.
Yeah, and that line right there also makes no goddamn sense, because Sonic isn't dead. Tails thinks Sonic is dead, or Sonic is captured, or what have you, but he isn't. So, none of this makes any sense. Why is Classic Sonic here? Now, you might say Sonic Mania, and I'd say, yeah, maybe. But that still doesn't make any sense. Why did it bring him here? And if that's the case, doesn't that just mean Classic Sonic is nothing more than an illusion created by the Phantom Ruby?
If we defeat Eggman, this war will be over. And if we can figure out the secret to his power, maybe we can get you home. Hey, the sensor is picking up Eggman. Let's hurry.
And Sonic Mania Adventures kind of, sort of... Well, not Mania Adventures, Sonic Mania Plus. Sorry. Mania Adventures picks up where Sonic Forces left off, whereas Sonic Mania Plus picks up where Mania's main campaign left off. So Sonic Mania Adventures and Sonic Mania Plus cannot coexist. So there's a split in the timeline right there. I guess Mania Plus is what would have happened if Classic Sonic wasn't brought to Forces, but was brought to, I guess, another point in his timeline. Or I guess another part of his world, because he would be brought to, back to Angel Island, I guess. But I guess technically he never left Angel Island because it's the Phantom Movie. It doesn't bring you places, it just changes what you're seeing. Mania, for all of its good parts, is a very, very convoluted mess that would take a lot longer than we have to go over. And the Sonic story is also very, very complicated when it didn't need to be.
We've got to find Eggman quick. Let's see. The reading I picked up was through this way. This area is still relatively undamaged. The enemy is here somewhere. You better be on your guard, Sonic.
I guess now would also be a good time to bring up the elephant in the room, the synth. The synth used in Sonic Mania's soundtrack is grating, and so is this fake Sega Genesis sound chip, I guess? I don't know why Ochani thought this would be a good thing to use. I don't know, Ochani was Jun Sonoe. Yeah, I don't know why he thought this was good. I guess because he's been using it since Sonic 4, but still. And this might be a controversial opinion, but Sonic 4 didn't sound anywhere near as bad as Sonic Forces does, in terms of the Genesis sound chip. Because it isn't a Genesis sound chip, but it certainly didn't sound anywhere near as bad as this.
Strange. I see desert over there. This is Green Hill, right? Something is wrong.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. So, Lost Valley, the first level of the main campaign, Sonic's first level, Modern Sonic's first level, takes place before the war starts. Well, yet there's sand everywhere. As Sonic says, it's Sand Hill. Which makes no goddamn sense, because that hadn't happened yet. The war hadn't started. So Green Hill shouldn't be like that, but in order for the joke to make any sense, it has to be like that. So am I being led to believe that the only reason why the level looks like that is so that way the joke would make sense? Or was it so that way they didn't have to do as much work as to remake or fix Green Hill Zone to look better? Like it wasn't fucked up. Sonic Forces is just a giant well of untapped potential. And the worst part is that it could have been so much more than what it is. It's so annoying with what it is. You see this level right here. This one. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is what was in the demo. I remember I actually beat this in the demo. I got all the way to the end. Yeah, skipping another cutscene. No reason to keep going with them because you can't see them. But I managed to get all the way to the end, and the problem is that because
my own genius scares me sometimes.
Because of the animation in regards to the Egg Dragoon's transformation, it takes way too long for you to beat him. So you can beat him, get his health all the way down to 0, and you won't win, at least not in the demo, because it takes way too long for him to get to his defeat animation. So you won't end up getting to the results screen. I did that wrong. That's just one on the left side.
Still, this Egg Dragoon has only lost 10% of his combat strength.
You're lying!
Won't have to wait long to find out.
Okay, left side. Maybe I should stream the demo one of these days. So that way I could just have it saved. I mean, I did stream it before when it was first out. Well, I just realized it's a cactus. Well, they changed the normal bush to a cactus. That's a little detail I never noticed that they did.
It would be a challenge to crush you here. I'll round up the entire resistance.
Hey, see this animation. That takes way too long for you to get to the results screen. So you could never get to the results screen in terms of the demo. Skipping the cutscene again because you can't see it, no reason to keep playing it. Park
Eggman's
Avenue.
army has broken through! They're in the city! We need to get these people out of here!
Who can we send? Sonic and Silver need time to heal.
We've engaged enemy forces at Seaside Hill. We can't spare anyone.
Yeah, why can't we go to Seaside Hill? If they're gonna reuse stages, at least reuse some that we haven't seen be reused in a while. Well, then again, Seaside Hill was reused a hell of a lot way back in the 2010s. It was in all of the Sonic Racing games, it was in Sonic Dash, still is in Sonic Dash. Huh. I guess they reused Seaside Hill so much because they didn't want to use Green Hill, because they'd have to pay the licensing fee for Green Hill's own theme.
This is the 8th unit. We're pinned down under heavy enemy fire.
Man, looks like I've got no choice. Okay, Rookie, I've got a tough one for you. I need you to head back to the city and save those civilians.
To Park Avenue. A worse version of Shadow's stage. A worse version of, I like the theme for Park Avenue though.
SBO here. We're engaging enemy forces. We can't search for civilians right now.
Again, there are some good parts about forces. There aren't a lot, but there are some good. I listen to Sonic Forces vocal themes a lot more often than I used to these days. But that's mainly because I'm listening to the remixes for Sonic Forces Overclock. Speaking of which, if you haven't heard any of those tracks for Sonic Forces Overclock, I would highly recommend you listen to them. Especially Space Forces remix. Space Force has a really nice remix, both the original first remix and then the one that they have for now, which is Fearless.
A fine display of skill.
Wow! You really showed a move, boss!
Come on! How am I gonna top that?
Oh, funny story. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but because of the burst twist, it's very, very easy to 100% the game.
Let's keep this momentum going.
I accidentally 100% of the game. I think I might have done it on stream. This was 5 years ago. So I was grinding in Imperial Tower, grinding to get rings, right? And I accidentally 100% of the game on stream because I was just running around. Oh yeah, I have a platinum trophy in the game. Because while I didn't like this game, I wanted to make sure I at least got a platinum trophy out of it so I could prove that despite not liking it all that much, I still completed it.
Mission complete.
So I could say that I have a fully complete opinion on the game. But we're gonna play through the entire game this time so that way I can make sure that my opinion hasn't really changed a whole much. And so that way I can get my thoughts out on it before we get to Sonic Frontiers. So my problem with this game stems from a lot of things. Mainly with the controls, the reuse of certain assets, the very poor level design choices, especially for modern Sonic. The stages are just linear pathways, hallways that you just hold the boost button to finish. And even worse than that, they sometimes feel like they aren't even fully complete stages. Like for instance, this stage. took me, what, 2 minutes? It felt like it was missing half the stage. But out of all the stages in the game,
impressive, but we still have a lot to do.
the Avatar stages and Classic Sonic seem to have better stage design when compared to Modern Sonic. And I guess it's because Modern Sonic has the boost, but that's still no excuse.
Great job! I knew you could do it if you believed in yourself.
Nice moves. But if you hog all the glory, how am I gonna look good?
This stage.
I can't believe it! Sonic's alive! I think I used up all my wishes for the rest of my life, but it's worth it!
Man, after seeing the dialogue that we have in Sonic Frontiers, and all the things that we've seen about it, hearing all this terrible, terrible character dialogue is just so annoying.
Come on, we have to go find him and tell him about Eggman's plan. Whatever his plan is. Eggman said something about Sonic being in Mystic Jungle.
Now this is my favorite track for all of Classic Sonic's themes. I don't like the instrumentation.
According to what I overheard,
I like the track.
Sonic should be here. It feels weird asking you to look for Sonic, but we're counting on you.
Oh, speaking of which, I have a remix I really like on my channel. I uploaded it 2 years ago, I think. Almost 2 years ago. Pinball physics with Classic Sonic and forces are painful.
Whoa, that looks like fun! But this is no time for games. We have to hurry.
There we go. It took fucking forever. This level is just so painful. Nope. Stop. Please, stop. God damn it. Sonic falls like a rock.
No sign of him around here. He might be closer to the center.
Hey, you know why they have that booster there, right? Because you can't gain speed here. There is no momentum in this game. None. So Classic Sonic has a max speed. That's really fucking slow. So they have boost pads literally everywhere so that way you don't feel like you're going as slow as you really are. Because they couldn't be bothered. Or I guess they might not have had the time, the money, or the experience to make the game feel good. I can't believe it's been 5 years since Sonic Forces released. You know, I remember pre-ordering this game. I even have the stuff that you get for pre-ordering it. I don't know where I put it, but I have it. I even have some of the stuff that I got off of the Sega shop. I have the Sonic Forces t-shirt. I have some of the stuff that they had on there. They don't have it anymore, but they have that stuff. I also have my Sonic toaster because Aaron Weber wanted to get that toaster out there, so I bought one. It's unopened still. It's inside of the box that I got when it was shipped here. The cardboard one. Yep, yep. You know, the worst part about Sonic Forces is... Well, the worst part about Sonic Forces is the level design. Definitely the level design. But that's what I probably would have said a long time ago, but now I think the worst part of Sonic Forces is the control.
The system is picking up a couple of strange readings. They're coming from the laboratory. The one where Sonic fought Infinite.
The worst part is that this control in Sonic Forces is going to be brought directly over to Sonic Frontiers for the cyberspace stages. So those stages are going to control like shit. I tempered my expectations, but it's gonna be terrible. Also, from what we've seen and what we've heard, the cyberspace stages are only going to be having 4 level aesthetics. There's Green Hill, there's Chemical Plant, there's Sky Sanctuary, and then there's the city level. It does not look like it'll be good. The cyberspace stages anyway. It's all reused too. Everything.
It's probably another of Eggman's robots.
Sure, there are going to be some new level designs, but...
Life readings. 2 of them. Definitely not robots.
Hey, Rookie! Go to the lab and check it out!
Aqua Road. My favorite track for the Avatar, definitely. I love this music track.
We've picked up the 2 life readings near the lab up ahead.
They aren't robots.
I remember the pre-release phase of Sonic Forces when we got this track released to us on the website, not the website, on their YouTube channel. I remember listening to this over and over again before we got the full
The current is
track.
pretty strong. This place is enough to make anyone dizzy. It might be better just to go with the flow. To a lot of trouble to make this lab hard to find.
They must be doing experiments they don't want people to know about. Burn! 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 Ha! Well, look at you, Rookie. Having fun in the water?
What? Jealous you can't play on the slide, Knuckles?
Well, this is no time to lose focus, that's all. Be sure to give it all you got, Rookie.
That was a lucky save. And I say lucky because I didn't even realize it was there.
The readings are really close now. Reinforcements will arrive soon, so meet up with them.
The song didn't even get to finish. Another minute and 20 seconds. So sad. Yeah, we're skipping this one too. Nothing of value is going to be lost. Yeah, would you look at that? We're almost done with the game. We are halfway there. Yep. So we'll be doing that right now. We'll be doing all the extra stages. Here we go. Fire Cannon 1. Like I said, we're doing all the stages, including the extra stages. I've done them before, but that was 5 years ago. Still can't believe it's been 5 years since the last mainline Sonic game, which is Forces obviously, but still. Worst part is that most of the best level design in regards to 2D, or just in general in this game, are these extra stages. But that's because they have any challenge. And stage done. They're short, but they're not bad. Okay, I like that. So, what teams have you guys chosen for the newest Splatfest in Splatoon 3? I'm on Team Fire, because I've always used Fire-type Pokemon as starters. Oh god, not this one. Yep, this will be a pain. Sonic controls like a rock. And you can't even really do platforming with him. Fuck. So this platforming section is a pain in the ass. This very simple, very easy platforming is made so very difficult by the way Sonic controls. If this was literally any other Sonic game, this would not be difficult. But because of the way it controls, it's a pain in the ass. Fuck. If you haven't played Sonic Forces, oh how I envy you. Oh, but that's another thing I forgot to mention. So, before, well, I'll look at those in a minute. But before Sonic Frontiers comes out, you should probably go to Sega's website and sign up for the newsletter. So that way you can get their, the special Soap Shoes DLC for Sonic Frontiers. That way, you'll get something extra. Though if you pre-ordered the game or got the digital deluxe version, you could also use the leather gear that they have. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look really particularly appealing, but I mean, if you want it, you could use it. I'll be using that one because that's objectively a better version of the one I've got. I imagine they'll probably just be reusing the assets from Forces and Frontiers for the Soap Shoes. But hey, it's something. At least Sonic will be getting something. Because you couldn't customize Sonic here in this game.
Eggman said when the plan is completed, we'll all be wiped out.
I don't like the sound of that. Normally I just laugh at an Eggman plan. He's already conquered most of the world, so... What's this plan of his?
Hey, I hate to butt in on your important meeting, but we're under attack! Shadow is tearing through our troops. We need reinforcements.
Shadow. The last time I saw him, he was fighting for Eggman.
Doesn't make sense. Why would Shadow help the enemy?
Perhaps he's being controlled by that strange power.
Whatever it is, I'll figure it out.
Okay, and then here's this. Sunset Heights. This was the first stage we got any footage of for Sonic Frontiers. This is the stage we thought would be the first level. The first stage. But no. It's the middle stage. It's 15. This level is very, very easy. So easy, in fact. That's why we thought it was going to be the first stage. But no. No, it's the middle stage. Yeah. Look, watch this. See that? So Sonic is speeding up right there. That's because it's about when the run button would be held down. Also, yes, we have the camera close up, so we might as well check it out. There was no idle animation. Sonic has no idle animation. They didn't do anything for it. You also can't control the camera in this game, but I suppose you wouldn't really need to because of everything in it. I suppose also, that would also be a good time to mention the color of Sonic's quills. They've changed it to the color of blue it is. I guess it's fine. But it's not just that they changed the color, they also changed the size, the length. Now you might say, why does that matter? It matters for a very important reason. Do you know the reason why they changed the quill's length for Sonic Adventure? It was because it animates better, if they're longer. So his quills and his limbs had to be lengthier so that way we can animate better.
Way more than we can reasonably take on.
Because if they didn't do that, it would look really weird.
Shadow has been sighted. Apparently he's traveling
Which we
above
can
the city at high
definitely vouch for because of Sonic World and Sonic Jam. That is the original prototype for Sonic Adventure. Or rather, that's them reusing the assets of that prototype. And you can definitely tell that something's a little off in regards to how he's animating in 3D. Because that's using the classic design, and while it looks nice, it also looks a little off. Also, I haven't mentioned it yet, the jump ball, the spin ball. It looks weird. You can't even see Sonic in it, it's just glowing ball. And when I say glowing, I do mean glowing. In 3D, well, in Sonic Frontiers, you'll definitely be able to see it when you'll definitely be able to see it glowing because when you're on near water, it'll glow into the water. But we're gonna be retrying the stage so that way I'm not just fucking around. I'm not trying to get best strength, but I at least want to make sure I get a good one.
What the heck? A whole army of dead-man robots?
This level isn't all that hard anyway, so whatever. It also isn't all that long, but
We can keep them in
that
check.
doesn't mean much or
Not for
anything,
long.
considering this is a
That'll
Sonic
work.
Forces
I'll
level.
find Shadow and be back
None
in
of the
no
levels are
time.
long.
This many Death Egg robots?
Come on, seriously? I'm not one to complain, but that's a lot, right? Way more than we can reasonably take on.
Listen up! Shadow has been sighted. Apparently he's traveling above the city at high speed.
Something I forgot to mention, the animation for boosting. Doesn't it look a little off? It looks a lot worse when compared to the animation we had in Sonic Generations and in Sonic Forces. Sonic Forces, Sonic Unleashed. Whatever, it's not like it matters if I get that or anything, I'm not losing much. But I did say when we started this that I would try to get what I can. So I might as well stick to my word and do that. And the level is basically done now. Sonic is so goddamn stiff.
The last sighting was just up ahead. Be careful, Sonic.
Yeah, and this is where the level... This is where the level ends, but it feels like it should keep going on. Which it does in Sonic... Sonic Forces Reimagined. The event level continues to go on. I can't stress enough that I highly recommend you play Sonic Forces Reimagined. The mod for the PC version of Sonic Forces, it definitely makes the game a lot better. A lot more palatable, at least. Always very... missing so much. Yeah, look. Do you see anything off? The colors are definitely way off. They're off model. But I guess they chose to do that because it looks pleasing on the eyes. But Sonic's supposed to be a deep blue, so that way he doesn't blend in with the background. Not a light blue because he blends in with the background a lot. Alright. I do appreciate the I do appreciate the remix of Shadow's theme here. Yeah, I am Shadow. Oh, yeah, Shadow. Yep, a remix of All Hail Shadow. Sounds nice.
Infinite can create virtual reality projections. They have mass and form, but no heart and soul.
Yeah, this is where we left off with the episode Shadow DLC.
Virtual reality? So all those familiar faces that were part of Eggman's army...
Replicas. The problem is, they may not be real, but their powers are as formidable as the originals. According to Rouge, Infinite can create unlimited numbers of them.
So fight after fight, he can just keep cranking out counterfeits?
Exactly. As it stands, there's no way we can win this.
Of course we can win this. We always do. We just haven't figured that part out yet.
Listen up! We just got word that Eggman's forces are undermanned at his headquarters in Metropolis.
They're probably staging somewhere else as part of Eggman's plan. This could be our only chance to take the city.
Exactly. That's why we're focusing on a full frontal assault on Metropolis. I'm calling it Operation Big Wave.
And this is the single stupidest thing that Knuckles has ever done in the entire series. Thanks to him, thousands, if not millions of people are dead.
Who cares what it's called? What's important is to have a well-thought-out strategy.
I thought up this strategy in about a minute and a half. We're going in hard and fast. We're not gonna stop till Eggman's army is destroyed.
Yeah. A minute and a half. That doesn't sound like Knuckles. But that does sound like Pontac and Graph's Knuckles.
Sonic is busy fighting Shadow, but the rest of us can do this. We've got the strength and the spirit to win. There's no...
Ha! Great speech! Let's give Eggman an old-fashioned beatdown.
They have more in sheer numbers, so the idea of a quick, focused attack isn't bad. We also have Sonic. I mean the other Sonic, so I have no doubt we can do this. Also, if we can destroy the Phantom Ruby, we should be able to send the other Sonic home. At least I hope so. This is all new territory for me.
Okay, let's head straight for Eggman's HQ. Time to save the world, people!
So, Capital City is the best main Avatar stage. And you'll see why it is, but that's because the level feels like it got to explore much of what it tried to do. It doesn't feel empty.
All right, time
It feels like it's not fully complete, but it doesn't feel anywhere near as empty as the other one.
Oh, absurd! What can that rattle do with an all-out attack? I'll smash them to smithereens!
Yeah, they're infinite.
Infinite, activate the Phantom Ruby! Make them wish they'd never been born!
Stay calm. What you're seeing isn't real.
It's no use. Our troops are scattering in the confusion. Ah! This is bad. Our forces were all gathered together, and now they're plunged into chaos.
Requesting reinforcements. This is Fox Spot. We can't hold out much more.
80% of our forces have been
Yep,
wiped out.
80% of the forces have been killed.
Contact with the rest.
And the level is going
Stretching
to
everything falls apart on us.
The rookie is our only hope now. We can't go on like this.
As much as it pains me to say it, the best we can do now is to live to fight another day.
And all of this is Knuckles' fault.
big wave is washed out.
We haven't lost. Let's fall back and regroup.
And the level's done. Despite my shitty playthrough, the level was still really short. Say hello to Sans the bird. That's right, I did all that for a Sans joke. I am not mad. I will not apologize. You get no apology from me. Also, time for the easiest boss fight in the entire game. Another scene to skip because nothing's missed. Because you can't see it, because for some reason it's blocked. Again, isn't it weird that Infinite's main theme is not in the goddamn game?
The strong will always vanquish the weak. You have only your own frailty to blame.
Oh, must have.
Seems behind that fear is a spark of defiance. And those eyes, I feel like we've met
Which one was it makes this boss true? But no, I do have it. Give me a second. I do have the Wispan that breaks this boss. It's one of the only times this was. Well, I mean, the asteroid Wispan works too. It's one of the only times that this Wispan is really useful. Yep. For some reason, this is the best time, the best place to use the cube Wispan. It's fucking terrible everywhere else, but here it's good. Mostly annoying, but good. It's only really good because you can just break him. Watch.
You must be a straggler, young man. The strong will always vanquish the weak. You have only your own frailty to blame. Underestimated just how desperately the fiend clings to life.
Time to break the game. And the sad part, I pre-ordered this game 2 times. I've bought this game 4 times. I bought it on digital once. I bought it physically for the I bought it digital for the PS4 once. I bought it physically for the PS4 once. I bought it digitally for the computer once, and I bought it physical for the Switch once. So I have 2 copies of it on the PS4. And the only reason I pre-ordered it for the PS4 was so that way I could get the PS4 themes and the PS4 avatar. I didn't use any of them because, quite frankly, they look terrible. But I wanted to have them, so I got them.
Things were going well with Operation Big Wave. Then everything fizzled out when that Phantom Ruby kicked in.
That fake shadow was created using the Phantom Ruby's power, right? Even if it's a virtual reality projection, it's as strong as the real shadow.
Rouge, have you found the intel I was looking
Well, what happened
for?
to the lighting on Rouge? Huh. I guess they fucked up the lighting on her.
No, not yet. But I have reports that Eggman's database is located at the chemical plant. If we can check that out, we might find something there.
That sounds like a promising lead. We have to figure out the secret behind Infinite's power and virtual reality. Tails, can you handle this?
Got it. I'll take Sonic, I mean the other Sonic, with me and head to the chemical plant.
Chemical plant, chemical plant. Another infamous level in this game.
According to Rouge, there should be a database
And I'll show you
somewhere.
why.
We have to
Watch
locate
this.
the building it's in. There's a lot of ground to cover, so just finding it will be a chore.
Yep, nope. Didn't do shit. You know, I can thank Forces for one thing and one thing only.
Best to play it safe here.
The one thing I can thank Forces for is for making me look at media a lot more critically than I used to. It's entirely thanks to Forces that I decided to start actually caring about what my media is like. And really articulating it. It's thanks to Forces that I decided to start looking into things like that. Which is where I ran into EFAP,
Water level is rising.
which is where I found a lot of people that I
Triggered
like.
it. Stay sharp.
And as funny as it is to say, Sonic Forces was my TLJ. It ruined so much about what I found good in the franchise. Yep. So easy, you could just skip it. See? Level design is designed for literal children. You can't fail even if you wanted to. I saw the red ring there, I don't care. Again, doesn't matter, doesn't really give you anything. Yeah. That's another thing I forgot to mention earlier. I 100% of this game, I got all the collectibles, and you know what you get out of it? Jack shit. The game gives you nothing. You will lose more than you gain, because you'll lose time and effort. You'll get nothing. I do think you get something for collecting all the red rings. I think it might have been a level, but doesn't matter. After I beat the game, I'll just re-download my save data and then we can play through that extra level that I'm not getting.
So, this is where the database is. Hold on a sec while I access the data from this computer. Okay, failed battle plans, robot designs. Wow, he's got like 10 terabytes of selfies. So where does he keep the... Found it! Virtual reality weapon, the Phantom Ruby. Weapon that takes control of people's visual and depth perception to feed false information to the brain, creating a new reality for them. Like a dream so real if you bump yourself in it, your sleeping self will bruise? It's hard to believe. Eggman experimented with lots of prototypes, and then incorporated the final version into Infinite.
So this is another thing. If you were to believe everything Forces tells you, you would think, oh, Eggman created the Phantom Ruby, but no, he didn't. He found it because, as we know in the prequel comic, it just suddenly appeared at his doorstep after the events of Sonic Mania. But it disappears in Sonic Forces, so what? Does it leave... So what happens is, does it leave Sonic Mania, go to Sonic Forces, then go back to Sonic Mania, and then go to Sonic Forces, but in the past? Where did the Phantom Ruby come from, then? I guess that's a time paradox right there, isn't it?
I'm reading this data correctly, then there might be a weakness. This is huge! Let's get this information back to the others.
I don't like sitting on the bench. But there's nothing to do till Tails gets back.
Way to jinx it! Metal Sonic has been spotted in the city!
Is it another fake?
Why would they bother making a fake out of something that already isn't real? Couldn't they just build more?
Yeah, good question. Why would they?
Either way, it's getting wrecked. Let's go, partner.
I'm still gonna play with Sans the bird. I hate this level because you have to play the entire beginning is essentially just a cutscene, and you can't skip it.
Spotted near there.
Strange. I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah, for another 30 seconds is just a cutscene.
That was a close one.
And you can't skip it.
Good work, partner. Keep it up. It's lights out for you.
Yeah, there we go. Now we can
Can't
play
let
the
these
game.
things keep rampaging around the city. So this is thanks to the Phantom Ruby too, huh? Eggman's new invention is a real pain in the neck.
partner. When we join forces, the sky's the limit.
Nope.
Double boost!
Skip the cutscene and nothing's getting lost, yada yada yada. We've been here done that. And we are almost done. Okay. Time to do the extra stage. Like I said, I'm gonna do all the extra stages that I can. And the other thing that I didn't mention is the weird-ass double jump Sonic has. You don't really go much of you don't really go much of anywhere. I don't know why they give you rings, it doesn't do shit. Rings are essentially pointless in this game. There are no lives. There's no reason to collect more rings than just, like, what, 1? Maybe 10? Because you can only really lose, I think, 50 rings at a time. Well, you lose all your rings, but you can only collect up to 50. So any more than that is pointless.
I got it, Sonic! I figured out a way to stop Eggman's Phantom Ruby!
Great work, Tails!
Based on these readings, the Phantom Ruby requires an incredible amount of energy, which only the Death Egg can provide. We simply stop the energy transfer, and boom! The Phantom Ruby is practically useless!
So that's another thing that they give to the Death Egg in this game. So the Death Egg has another purpose, which is being a power generator. Which is essentially the opposite of Return of the Jedi.
Simply? Last I checked, the Death Egg is a heavily fortified, well, Death Egg.
True, but I came up with a plan. First, we distract Eggman. While he's not paying attention, we use the chemical plant computer to hack into the Death Egg's weapon systems and shut it down. With no weapons, destroying the Death Egg will be a piece of cake. No Death Egg means the Phantom Ruby is nearly useless.
Well, you know, it's just crazy enough to work. So, first we need a distraction. I'm on it.
No way, Knuckles. You're too easily distracted. That's not a good trait for a distraction. Plus, you're our commander. We kinda need you here.
How about the rookie? Eggman would never expect it. It may even throw him off a little.
Yeah, that's another thing I haven't mentioned until now. Why is Knuckles here? Why is he the commander? And where the fuck is Angel Island? Where's the Master Armor? Why isn't he there guarding it? That's his job. You know, if anyone was going to be the commander in this game, wouldn't it make more sense if it was either Tails or fucking Amy? I mean, the comics got that right. Amy's the commander now. Because Knuckles has no reason being here.
Good idea. You got your orders, rookie. We only have one more day before Eggman's plan is executed, so let's hustle.
Though, to be fair, that's mainly because Ian Flynn was writing. So he was essentially just writing Amy to be a lot more similar to Sally Acorn than Amy Rose. Time to break this level! Because we have the drill wispin.
Unidentified heat source detected. Requesting analysis.
Hang on! It's a multi-legged battle mech. The energy readings are off the charts.
So Eggman had another weapon up his sleeve.
Okay, I'm gonna retry. I fucked that up. I gotta show you how you can do it.
Heat source detected. Requesting analysis.
Hang on! It's a multi-legged battle mech. The energy readings are off the charts.
So Eggman had another weapon up his sleeve.
Okay, here we go.
Diversionary tactics are all about the decoy you use. Just go wild and get their attention.
Don't push your luck too far, though.
Leave a chemical plant to us. Make as much noise as you can.
Perfect. Time to head back.
Hold on! There's a massive energy source
And the level's
approaching.
done. Just a QTE. Essentially.
We can't let this thing get to the chemical plant. Keep it busy there as long as you can, rookie.
I'll be right back. Though nobody's here at the moment, I'm still gonna be right back. If you didn't know, tonight is a full moon, blood moon, lunar eclipse. This is the only one will be. Well, the next one will be 3 years from now. So if you want to see it, I'd recommend you do it now. Well, I guess nobody's here, so you won't be able to see it because you'll be seeing this later. But I'll be right back. Won't take more than a moment. I just wanted to see it before I go to finish to this. Because it just barely opened. I just barely started. But I guess I'll wait until we get to the main hub. Right here. Yep, halfway done. Yeah, network terminal. That's what I was thinking of earlier. In network terminal inside. I have returned. Apparently, I wasn't exactly, right. It won't be there for another couple hours. Hmm? What? Give me a second. Sorry, I don't have chat open, so I can't see the chat. I have not checked out chat later. Damn it. This jumping was destroying the rocks.
Almost at the chemical plant. How's the rookie doing with the distraction?
Oh, so far, so good. We might have to stop using the nickname Rookie if the kid keeps this up.
Next, we've got to get to the computers at the chemical plant and shut down the Death Egg's weapons system.
Perfect. I've been waiting for my turn to bust some heads.
Yeah, it's Number Terminal Inside. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's the track that I like.
The Rookie did a great job as a decoy.
Nice
Time
and
for you
relaxing.
to do your thing. We have to capture the chemical plant. If anyone tries to... The Rookie did a great job as a decoy. Time for you to do your thing. We have to capture the chemical plant. If anyone tries to stop you, take them out.
Say no more. They won't know what hit them.
What? What just happened?
I'm heading into the chemical plant now. I'd enjoy this even more if I wasn't on a mission. Okay, I'm in.
The computer room is up ahead. You should be able to shut down the Death Egg's defense system from
Yeah,
there.
this is one of the best stages for Modern Sonic. Mainly it actually feels like they were trying something with the stage. What was this one? And the stage is done. Again.
All the way through to the computer room.
All right. Now we can destroy the Death Egg.
Whoa!
Alright. Never mind.
Through to the computer room.
All right! Now we can destroy the Death Egg.
I apologize for my stupidity. And I still got an A rank. We are nearly done with the game. Just 6 more levels left. Oh yeah, I forgot to use spacebar in this. Now, the funniest part with all of this is that many of the stages in this game we know had a lot of stuff that was just cut. We know that it was a lot of stuff that was just cut
weapon systems are down. Now's your chance. Move.
because of what's left in the files. If you haven't explored the cutting the floor page on Sonic Forces, I would highly recommend it because there's so much that's just been unused. The entirety of Null Space, for one. That stage was an actual stage at one point.
Hurry! Just destroy the Death Egg and cut off the power supply.
You're making it sound like a walk in the park. This is a Death Egg!
Don't sweat it. The other Sonic has this under control.
And this is Classic Sonic's best stage. It's not good, but it's Classic Sonic's best stage.
Hey, the defense system's still up. I thought we shut it down.
Probably switched over to auxiliary power. Not to worry. Sonic is on the job. He'll find a way through.
I couldn't jump for a second there. Because when you use the thing, it takes away your ability to jump.
This is the fix. It's messing with my head.
Just stay calm, and you'll figure out the way forward.
I just want
Damn
to
it.
smash everything and level the place.
I missed my jump.
Pretty smooth. Don't get too
And
cocky
here's
and
a
fall.
shortcut.
Hey, it's Sonic we're talking about here.
This gimmick is just used to waste your time. Son of a... Oh my... That was quick. Classic Sonic moves like a goddamn rock. The worst part is all of his levels require you to do things that he just can't do. If they insist you try.
Egg is starting to crumble. Get out of there before it blows.
That was pointless. And still that mess. I wish there was some way you could skip this faster, but nope, just button mashing. And still can't show you any of the goddamn cutscenes for no goddamn reason. Oh, yeah, I guess I was wrong. There are 8 levels left. But laser cannon 1. I'm hoping Sonic Frontiers will be good. Hoping beyond hope that the game will live up to expectations. I just want it to be fun. Yeah, again, that double jump does basically nothing. Oh, I should probably equip that Wispin. Straight upgrade to the one I have currently. Give me a second.
Mission accomplished. The Phantom Ruby signal has gotten much weaker.
This should effectively put a stop to the Doctor's greatest weapon.
And, okay, so this stage, we haven't gotten into it yet, but this stage is the stage that has the most issues. Mainly stemming from the fact you can't drift. I don't know why they got rid of the goddamn drift. I guess because it makes the stages even more of a pain to make. But then they could have just not used the boost formula.
The Sonics have made an opening for us. We can't just let that go to waste.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Time to settle the score.
Now that the Phantom Ruby is out of the way, we can finally smash Eggman into an omelet.
I'm probably gonna make a pizza in a
Don't
bit.
count your chickens before you smash your eggs.
Rouge is right. The fact that Eggman and Infinite are still around means we can't let our guard down.
I just want everyone to get home safely, okay?
All right, fine. Everyone get your game face on. The target is... We're fighting to get our world back now. Don't stop, don't look back. Just focus on the task ahead no matter what. Let's do this, everyone. Charge! We can capture Eggman. We win. Find out where he's at, Sonic.
We'll provide as much cover as we can.
All right, chasing Eggman is what I do best. I'll track him down in no time.
Yeah, fuck, man. Yeah, you can't hold boost there. The entire game up till now has basically told you to hold boost whenever you can. But nope, if you hold boost there, you will die. So the game, which is heavily automated, is telling you not to do what it has taught you to do this entire time. For some reason. And the worst part about it is that it wouldn't be so bad if you could drift. But I suppose it would have to be the drift from Generations, because the one in Unleashed is very wide.
We can hold for now.
Our other forces are on the move too. We can pull this off.
And if you had a wide drift, you definitely would have died.
Be careful. I'm detecting Eggman just up ahead.
And the stage is done, like usual. Right before it could get good. And I still got this right. This game doesn't just suck. This game is the epitome of everything that the Sonic series has led up to at this point. And by that I mean all of the problems stemming from Colors led us to here. It's because, I guess they assumed that because Colors was a success, people wanted that. But no, Colors was a success because at the time, people just wanted something that was simple, you know? And it was a Wii game, so people just assumed, well, it's a small-time Wii game, you know? And Colors, for what it is okay, I guess. It's not a bad game. I wouldn't say it's bad by any means. It's not my favorite game. It certainly isn't good. I mean, let me rephrase that. The first act of every zone in Colors is pretty good, relatively serviceable. They aren't the best boost levels, but they aren't bad. The problem is that the game is mostly filler. Mostly filler, and it's mostly 2.5D. It is essentially a 2D Sonic game with 3D elements. And would you look at that? Forces is essentially just Colors, but worse. Which sucks, because Forces had every right to be good. Had they learned from the issues of the past, and had they just done what they did in Generations, the game would have been good. But the reason why Forces turned out the way it did was entirely due to the change in engine. So, what we know now, based off of all the information we've gotten from interviews and the like, is that Forces took 4 years to make because it spent 3.5 of those years just working on the Hedgehog Engine 2. Which, debatably, isn't much of an upgrade over Hedgehog Engine 1. But, because they moved over to a new engine, they lost everything they did with Generations. So, the game controls worse. It debatably looks worse. And it most certainly can't reuse the assets that they had in the Hedgehog Engine 1. Because they can't just pull the assets from Hedgehog Engine 1 into Hedgehog Engine 2. Though modders have been able to make those assets work, it wasn't really designed for it. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about earlier in Null Space. Yeah, I'll skip this cutscene because you can't see it, and there's no reason to play it if nobody can see it. But Null Space, since we know for certain, has a lot of cut content. There's a whole lot of stuff on the cutting room floor that if you look into it, you'll find that the entire stage itself was just cut.
This isn't where
There's a lot of unused dialogue, a
Let's
lot
head
of
back.
unused
Everyone's waiting for us.
stuff. I'm not gonna do this.
Double boost!
Because, again, you don't have to do anything. The game will just play itself. I'm not touching the controller. You can't see me, but I'm not touching the controller.
We got this! Keep it up, partner!
And
Nothing can contain
20
the two of
seconds
us at
later, you
max
can actually
power,
start playing
not
the game.
even null space. Sup, everyone? I missed this place.
What happened, Sonic? You two just up and disappeared.
Nothing happened. Literally. Now let's track down Eggman.
Yep. Literally nothing happened. I forgot I'm still using the drill. So, as I was saying earlier, though I don't think you were here at the time, this is the best stage in terms of the tag team mechanic. Oh, God damn it. It's the best stage entirely due to the level design. It encourages you to explore. Fancy that, a Sonic game that lets you explore. How long has it been since we've last had one like that? I'd say generations, probably, depending on how you want to look at it. But honestly, the last game that really encouraged exploration was Unleashed. And that didn't turn out well because a lot of people didn't like it. I mean, I like Unleashed, even including the warehouse. My problem with Unleashed is that it forces you to look for unnecessary things. Like just, it forces you to look for the coins, tokens, the metal, some of them. It forces you to look for the metals, despite the fact that that goes antithetical to the entire game's approach to running. Which is why I much prefer how it was handled in the last gen ports, in the Wii and on the PS2. That's how I played Unleashed before I had the newer systems. So I never really saw the problem with it until I got the main version of Unleashed. But in those versions of Unleashed, what happens is that you get the medals from completing stages with a certain time. So, if you get S ranks, you can complete the entire game without having to worry about going back to get anything. Yet, the main game didn't do that. For whatever reason, it didn't do that. I don't know. I guess maybe just to pad it out, which I don't understand why they would, considering the game already had a lot of content to begin with. And the level is done. Even after dying all those many times, the level still only took me 2 minutes. Almost 3 minutes, but 2 minutes. 2 minutes 50 seconds. So despite me fucking up so badly, the level was still very, very short. Very short and very, very, very pointless. I was mainly just coming back to see if my opinion has changed in this game. And though I've mellowed it out in my opinion over time, I still despise this game. Skipping this cutscene because, again, it's not gonna play on the broadcast. No reason to play it. Okay. Got reverse block 2. And bomb block. Yeah, reverse block 1 and bomb block 1. Or bomb block 2. You know, the worst part is that 5 years ago, today, I was playing the game for the first time. And 5 years ago today, I 100%ed the game for the first time. Well, it wasn't 5 years ago today, exactly. I should check, I should check my, I should check my trophies, because I did fully complete the game in, I think it was a week or two later. But it took me a long time to get the platinum trophy because you have to grind all of those rings. And they don't even give you a, they don't give you a counter. So you don't know how many rings you've collected so far. But, if you're trying to get that final trophy for collecting all those rings, the best level to do it in is Imperial Tower. I think I got the platinum trophy on stream, but I can't remember. It was either on stream or if it was when I was talking to one of my friends. You know, the sad thing is that all these Wispons are mostly pointless, because after you've collected the drill, you could just use that to break levels, or you could just not use any of the other ones and just continue using the one they give you at the start. Because that one is objectively the best one in terms of, you know, dealing with enemies. Especially since you don't really have to do much of anything with it. Okay, I'm not gonna make that, damn it. Not gonna make that stupid mistake again. I missed the spin dash. I still can't believe Frontiers has the drop dash but not the spin dash. Oh, but you can tweak the physics in the game so you have simulated momentum. So you can do what is essentially a boost jump, but only on certain areas. Which sucks, but yeah. At least it's something. I'm just hoping Sonic Frontiers will be good. Considering how long it's been since we had the last Sonic game. It's been 5 years. 5 years! And if the game isn't good, you know what that means?
Less than an hour before Eggman's plan goes down.
That means we'll have to end up waiting like another 5 years again for another Sonic game. The 3 Sonic game, anyway.
There's no more time. We have to break into the fortress now.
Or if not 5 years, at least 3. Because open world games take a while.
Indeed, this is it. Our last opportunity to bring peace back into the world.
Though it would be nice if that rumored 2D modern Sonic game is real. Because then we would have at least something to do, you know? In some new Sonic game.
But when the battle ends, we'll have to part with Sonic. I mean this Sonic, won't we?
Again, I very much dislike the characterization of Tails in this game.
Yes. If the Phantom Ruby is gone, I guess he'll be returned to his dimension.
And again, with that, they retcon classic Sonic to be from another dimension, when it was very much established in Sonic Generations that he's from the past.
Thank you for everything, Sonic. I'll never forget what you did for us.
Save the sentiments for later. This is not over yet. We still have a battle to fight.
Exactly. This is our last chance. Give it everything you've got.
Is it bad that we're almost done with the game and I still have no real feelings on it one way or the other? I used to despise this game, but now I just don't care anymore. Oh like I was saying earlier, it's just like how people feel about The Last Jedi. That's kind of how I feel. I used to hate it, but I just don't care anymore at this point. I mean, why care? It's not like it matters. Hopefully, Sonic Team learned from their mistakes. But we won't know about that until tomorrow, will we? And they were chasing a high Metacritic score for Frontiers.
Made it so far. We're so close. This is
But currently, Frontiers has a 74 on Metacritic. So that's still yellow. They were hoping for a green.
We need to fight fire with fire. If you can get close enough to that sun, the prototype should cancel out the effect.
Yeah, you see why I was saying earlier that this is the best stage to grind rings on? Because you can get 999 without really trying all that much. And I messed up there.
It's all up to the rookie now.
The chances of success are minuscule. It's a desperate long shot. Please, come back in one piece.
And then get rid of it. I'm still questioning which version of Sonic Colors is supposed to be canon. Is it the DS version because the first list is in Forces? Or is it supposed to be the Wii version? Because that's the main version. But then it doesn't make any sense because the burst list is only in the DS version. And that was carried over to the next versions of the game. And the other thing that was only in the DS version is the Mother Wisp. But that's in Team Sonic Racing. So which version of the goddamn game is canon? I mean, the DS version has a better story and better level design overall, so I wouldn't mind if that was canon, but the problem with that is that Sonic Colors Ultimate released, and that's following the Wii game, so I don't know. I guess Colors Ultimate is supposed to be canon? But then that fucks with the timeline again, because where did the Jade Wisp go in the DS version? I'll have some closing thoughts on the game once we're done with it. But we're almost done, so we'll talk about that when the time comes. And I'm skipping the cutscene again, because no point in playing it. Can't see it. Which, as I was saying earlier, doesn't make any goddamn sense. But Sega did this for Sonic Forces, and they also did it for Persona 5, so I guess it's just what Sega does. This is the other good modern Sonic stage. I mean, good in terms of Forces. It's not a good level, but when it comes to Forces, it's a good level. But it's broken by the way Forces works.
Draw the enemy's attention and shield them from damage.
I mean, you can just jump over literally everything. Which, I mean, I'm more than happy to skip the goddamn level design. And there we go.
That must have used up a ton of...
Nah, I'm gonna skip.
That must have used up a ton of energy. Phantom Ruby should be weaker now. This is our only chance to defeat Infinite.
All ships, provide backup to Sonic and the others. Draw the enemy's attention and shield them from damage.
This level is heavily automated, by the way. There's a whole lot that we have no choice but to go through. And that's because of all of these douchebags.
The huge enemy force is closing fast.
We're falling under attack.
And the rebel plays it so. Again.
Every second we can buy for Sonic counts.
Sonic Forces is most certainly the game that plays itself. And hey, would you look at that? We're almost done with the level.
Evacuate the flagship. All hands, abandon ship. Sorry, Sonic. We've done all we can. Good luck out there.
Okay, the level's over.
Leave the rest to us.
Wow, what an interesting and amazing level. So cool. Definitely worth that 1 minute. I just can't wait to see what they do about Mortar Canyon and Sonic Forces Reimagined. Because I'm sure they'll definitely fix it up, considering what they've done with the other stages they've already worked on. And then there's Overclocked, which I really can't wait for that to be finished. But I've been waiting on that one since 2019, so I don't know. Among Us reference, yada yada yada. Oh, that's the other thing that I forgot. Yeah, so earlier I was mentioning all the things we've got Sonic-related Sense Forces, and I forgot about the Minecraft collab. And then there was also the collaboration with Roblox. Alright, almost done with the game. Skipping the cutscene again, because why not? No reason to watch it. Oh hey, would you look at that? It's Metal Sonic! Why does he look like Infinite? I don't get it.
Epitaph to read. How about, here lies the blue buffoon.
Why not, here dozes the masked clown? Might as well make it for the person who needs one, right?
I don't know why they didn't just give Infinite his own boss fight. Nope, they just had to give him Metal Sonics. Despite the fact that he's the main bad of the game. You can definitely tell that Forces is rushed. Though the Forces Dispense Squad would definitely tell you it wasn't rushed. And it is in fact a game. They are wrong. They are categorically wrong. And another one. Oh, damn it. I forgot that this turns into a double
Your
team
mask
battle.
can't hide how sad and lonely you are. That Phantom Ruby virtual reality of yours is the real illusion.
Should have kept my drill list. Yep, you can just fight it back using this. I gotta remember to equip the asteroid list before we get to the final boss. Because the final boss is kind of a thing we have to do without the asteroid list. You do it yourself. Doesn't matter what I do, you do it. And the guy that has strength for sucking. Again, with these cutscenes that I can't show for some godforsaken reason. Okay. One more stage, and it's the worst stage from Classic Sonic. Because it's an auto-scroller. Why is there an auto-scroller in a Sonic game? I don't know. Last time we had that was, I think, Sonic 1 8-bit. I'll go with this one. That makes it easier to fight. Are there any other... Nope. Okay, just making sure. To Iron Fortress. The stage that's an auto-scroller in a Sonic game for no good reason.
Phantom Ruby's signal is moving underground! Eggman is up to something again.
And it's a stage that makes you realize just how heavy Classic Sonic is.
We have to find the entrance to the...
Yeah, no, yeah, no, that's fine. No, that's perfectly fucking
Eggman
fine.
is up to something again.
The doctor hasn't given up. Don't let your guard down yet.
We have to find the entrance to the...
I'm not mad about that one, I'm just
Phantom
surprised that that
Ruby's
actually
signal
happened.
is moving underground. Eggman is up to something again.
The doctor hasn't given up. Don't let your guard down yet.
We have to find the entrance to the central tower. And
You know, playing
stop
Classic
Eggman.
Sonic and Forces just makes me want to play Sonic Robo Blast 2. Son of a... Fine, whatever, I'll just do this here then. Oh, jumped at the wrong time. Fine, I'll do it this way. Oh. Now, I like these when they work. Oh my god. Okay, fine. Thank you. And it's the auto-scroller. Yay! I cannot do this any faster if I tried. The worst part about this auto-scroller is that it's a 2.5D auto-scroller, which means that you can't really judge distance, because everything is all fucked up when it comes to the camera. So you might accidentally fall when you think you are going to land. Like that. I thought I was gonna make that. Huh. Well, that was nice. It almost, Also, this is a thing since generations, but for some reason they decided to give Classic Sonic his Sonic CD jump sound. I mean, it's fine, but it's not what I would have gone with. I would have just kept the one that we normally have. The worst part about Classic Sonic and Forces isn't just that he's heavy, it's that 6 months before Forces we got Mania! So we knew what a good Classic Sonic would feel like, and then we got this. Not exactly a shiny example of good game design. Yeah, did that work? That worked. Son of a... Alright, fine. I'm not gonna go that fast. You win, game, you win. I'll just take a Sonic game slow. He really does feel super heavy. I almost feel like I don't really have much control over him at times. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. You're right. I did that on accident. Okay, you got it. Don't worry, game. I don't blame you. I don't blame you because it's not your fault that you're terrible. Nope.
We haven't found an entrance yet.
No luck here either.
All this searching and still nothing?
My money's on the area the other Sonic is searching.
Now I gotta make sure I don't... Wait. Don't jump again. Get back up there, you fat fuck! No. The one time I want you not to roll. Haha! It didn't save me any time, but I feel better having done it. Can't make that mistake? No. If you don't touch this, you die. Genius game design right there. Yes, so that's perfect game design. Clearly someone playtested this game. I think they might have been blind, deaf, and stupid. That would explain quite a lot. Which doesn't really mean much of anything at all. Oh wait, hold on. I'm going to need... yeah. This one. Considering I remember that this is where you have to deal with those things at the end. Essentially a rip-off of
Ruby signal is headed for the reactor.
Superstar, I guess.
Reactors in the innermost part of the fortress. But the defense system is too tough to break through by normal means.
Good thing we're not normal. We'll find a way through.
This is where Eggman built Infinite. It's so
Yeah, you see, another reference to Eggman making Infinite. He didn't make Infinite. He just gave Infinite. Hold on a second. Give me a moment. Okay, I think that might have fixed it. Fuck.
A Phantom Ruby signal is headed for the reactor. Faster, hurry! The reactor's in the innermost part of the fortress. But the defense system is too tough to break through by normal means.
Good thing we're not normal. We'll find a way through.
This is where Eggman built Infinite. It's so
yeah, again,
sad.
another reference to
One
Eggman building
place to be
Infinite.
brought into the world.
But that was an abandoned concept from an older prototype of the game.
You're on it. Here
Or
goes.
rather, an older version of the script. Way back when the game was still called Sonic War. Which was the codename for the game in production. Alright, now let's essentially...
They made it! They actually made it!
Use a little breather right about
This
now.
is the reason why I chose to grab the, first response. So I can just break it immediately.
Pretty thrilling, huh, partner?
Alright, now the level's over.
Everyone's waiting for us.
Again, like it was before, I'm just going to the gameplay itself because it doesn't matter what I do. What a pointless mechanic. And we've only got one more level left, which is just a boss. But after this, I'll go and change my save data back to my original save data, so I can do the extra stage that I'm missing. Or the extra stages that I'm missing. Let me just get this one. Final boss time! Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing, wasn't it? When it comes to, what's it called? When it comes to fully completing this game, you have to fully level up all of your, every single species.
He's overclocking the Phantom Ruby! That's insane!
No regular tool can damage it now. You're our last chance.
Give it your all, Sonic! You'll always be our shining hope!
Damn it.
He's overclocking the Phantom Ruby! That's insane!
No regular tool can damage it now. You're our last chance.
Give it your all, Sonic! You'll always be our shining hope!
This boss design is incredibly lazy. And now time to break the boss using the aid of the Whisper Mag.
Go on, rookie! I know you can do this!
Our fate is in your hands.
Son of a... It's a shame because this music sounds so good too, but the boss is so goddamn
Go on,
lame.
rookie! I know you can do this!
Our fate is in your hands. Afterlife!
Son of a... Alright, might as well just not get risky with it. Just relax.
Go on, rookie! I know you can do this!
Our fate is in your hands.
And for the final phase, which is just the Mega Wisp armor from Sonic Colors. Again. After we got it in Sonic Colors, and then Sonic Lost World, and now here. Though I really do like this track, this final version. It's definitely one of the more underrated tracks in the entire OST, in my opinion, anyway. They aren't even hiding it at this point. It just looks like it.
Go for it, Sonic!
Let's go, Sonic, and Sans. That's right, I am Sans the Bird. This is so cool, but it's so goddamn lame. And here we go. Final hit.
There's nothing the three of us can't achieve together. Victory is ours for the taking. Triple boost!
The only time